Welcome back to episode 9 of a super conversation about the entire Superman film franchise. We're nearing the end and we're talking Batman v Superman. Is this really a Superman film? Who could say? I'm Korbin Zvokel,
I'm Jackson Mahuron.
and it's 10 minutes on the clock to talk BVS, the theatrical cut. We did not spend the extra fucking 30 minutes watching the ultimate cut because it's not any better. 3, 2, 1. Uh, More Zack Snyder. Really not a Superman film at all. Very Batman focused, but he is in the title, so it felt like we had to include it. Important note. I just wanted to say off the top. We don't really have to get into it, but Doomsday. Do you know who plays Doomsday in this film?
Is it Zod?
No, it is the same actor who plays Manchester Black in the film Superman versus the Elite.
Oh, hell
So
yeah.
connections. He did both the
Sure.
voice and performance capture for Doomsday.
All right. That's good for him. Good for that guy.
Nice work if
Um,
you get it, honestly.
yeah.
But bad villain, bad movie. What are your thoughts, Jackson?
Just from a franchise standpoint, because they really wanted to rush into, the expanded state that the MCU is at. And because of that, we had like a failure experiment with
They
the
skipped a
DCEU, I
couple
think.
steps there. Yeah.
They definitely did. From a comic adaptation standpoint, to start with Frank Miller's The Dark Knight Rises mixed with like the death of Superman is maybe the stupidest idea I've ever heard of for like a super like I think it's really dumb. I like the death of Superman story. I don't think this does a good job at adapting that well at all. And I really just dislike the Frank Miller Batman stuff. And to make it like into a canon movie is like really stupid to me. It totally is. Like we thought that, Snyder misunderstood Superman. He's like, well, hold my fucking beer while I show you how Batman works for this one too, because he's gonna murder a lot of people. A lot of people. Um, yeah, not the biggest fan of this movie off the jump. How do you feel about Lex in this though?
I think honestly, in hindsight, it's actually a pretty smart portrayal. Obviously, like it's Eisenberg coming off the social network. So like, is it really him doing something that unique? But I would say there's something a lot more sexual about this in a weird sort of way that I don't
Okay.
think Mark Zuckerberg has when he's like feeding the Jolly Rancher to the senator. There's an energy there that is rarely tapped into by Jesse
Hmm.
Eisenberg. And I actually think he is probably my favorite part about this movie because the Superman stuff's bad, the Batman stuff's uninteresting, Wonder Woman's just there, the universe building.
Through
Like
the
I can watch a couple video files
yeah.
at sporadic times. Give me one halfway through the movie and then another
Hmm.
right before the final sequence. But it just like it bores me. It doesn't really do much for me when he's on screen. It's like, okay, yeah, he's ranting about fucking paintings should be upside down and Granny's peach tea and Gods Amongst Men, and at least that's exciting.
Yeah, he's giving like Shakespearean levels of monologue that are like super campy and just very over the top. It feels like a version of Lex Luthor. Some people are like, this isn't Lex at all. It's like, no, it is a specific vibe of Lex. It feels more again kind of campy, sillier, akin to the Gene Hackman, but I guess he's more like grounded in like the mad
Well,
scientist route of Lex here too, which is kind of
and he's
interesting.
kind of, I mean, it's the thing, it's like he's a tech bro, which is like what would be
Yeah.
the Lex Luthor of our modern age. I don't
Hmm.
really love as much that it's like he's an inheritance, like he got his money from his dad, and
Yeah.
I don't really know, like it doesn't set him up as like himself a mad genius until I guess he's suddenly working Kryptonian technology
Yeah.
and cutting off fingertips. But like it'd be more interesting if he was entirely self-made rather than like being a weird daddy's boy.
And that is kind of like a part, like as far as like in a lot of the comics I've read that draw from like the Smallville stuff, like he is kind of like inherits this money from his
Mm,
dad, and his dad fucking hates his guts, and like that's kind of an interesting dynamic too. And that's why Lex like is trying to prove
fair.
himself in like other scientific means and like taking down this god figure. It's kind of like this interesting like internal struggle of like trying to find his worth in that way, which I think is kind of interesting. But another aspect of this movie that's so weird is like Man of Steel went out of its way to be like, I remember in the marketing, it's like, there's no kryptonite. We're not doing kryptonite in this universe, which was something they attempted in the comics to like retcon, like, no more kryptonite. And then eventually they come around and they have to throw it back in. And we get it in the next movie. Um, yeah. How do you feel about like the relationship between Bruce and Clark in this? Like they never really see eye to eye until like the last 10 minutes of this movie. Like, do you like their dynamic? How do you feel about it?
Well, kind of the whole time I'm like, it does a good job of kind of putting you on Batman's side. You're like, this is
Hmm.
kind of right. Like Superman is pretty fucked up at the situation. He did destroy
Hmm.
basically all of Metropolis. Um, Obviously, Man of Steel releases, it makes decent amount of money, but I would say it's not necessarily like regarded as a critical success. So it's
Hmm.
interesting to see like this is a pivot, maybe post that or the next step after that. And there are some things that I feel like you said, adding kryptonite that Snyder decides to
Hmm.
change and bring in, but also it's like he makes the same mistakes over and over. And when you have that relationship between where it's just like Superman is not the hero of the story, and he should be. He's barely a hero in Man of Steel. And I think you fail in doing that again here, where it's like Batman's sympathetic, and really Batman's like a piece of shit deadbeat who's going
And
around
Batman sucks
torturing
too in
people,
this.
like
Yeah, the
putting the mark
branding
of
is
death
not
on
him.
guy. Like
Yeah.
it's tough because it's like even the one you support is awful. So I think it fails both of them, even though
Yeah,
I
like
like
the
Ben Affleck.
the Batmobile tank is like just fucking ridiculous, like exploding people. Like, sorry, if you kill someone with the Batmobile, you're still killing them. And if you brand someone for them to be killed, you're still killing them. Like that is still like a problem with your character fundamentally. But at the same time, you have that horrible sequence with Granny's peach tea where Lex like bombs like the Capitol and Superman just kind of hovers above, looks kind of bummed and flies away without helping anybody. Like, come on, guys, what are we doing here? Like that is so far away from what would happen. It's just sucks.
Yeah, I mean they both play right into Lex Luthor's, plotting and scheming,
Mhm.
but it does seem a little bit too simple that Superman just one doesn't see the bomb and then right away
Well,
decides to
it
to
was encased in lead, but
I think you
yeah.
have to watch the ultimate cut to get that
Oh,
information.
really? Okay, interesting.
Did
Okay.
they mention that in this one? Maybe they
Maybe
mentioned that in
not.
this, but this is so stupid. Uh Batman origin stuff at the beginning. Like there's a lot of like stylistic imagery that is
Mhm.
good here, whether his parents getting killed, him
Great
the
actors for his parents too, that people were
it,
really excited to see come back in like a Flashpoint
well,
movie, which they never got him back for it, but it is what
I
it
saw
is,
the
I guess.
Flash. I think they were definitely in that movie, right? Like there was the entire third act was just him as Batman.
I
Oh,
wish.
that didn't happen.
I
No, damn,
wish.
unfortunate. Um, Obviously the big reveal, the thing, the reason they stop fighting, the reason BV Superman becomes Batman and Superman and Wonder Woman versus Doomsday is because of Martha. It's the first line of the movie. It's very pivotal. What do you think about them having the same mother's name? Their mothers having the
As a
same
comics
name.
fan, whenever I saw the movie, I was like, "Oh yeah, I guess they are both named Martha." But like obviously like the symbolic aspect of it is supposed to mean so much more and it's just like it's fine. It's whatever. Like sure, I guess if that's like your inciting incident, whatever. Batman and Superman should just be friends, man. They should just be friends from the jump. Have them have like a little bit of a rivalry. It's just ridiculous. And also, Superman being like, I could kill you if I could stop you if I wanted to, like I'm being too nice to you right now, is true. And like everyone acts like Batman like really whooped his ass. It was whatever. It was whatever.
Yeah, I mean the kryptonite obviously takes him down, but everything prior he could have easily killed him prior to that. Like
Yeah,
the
for
second
sure.
he flies in, he can murder
Hmm.
Batman if he really wanted to.
There is one cool aspect of that fight where he starts punching him and like the effects of the kryptonite are wearing off and you can kind of just see it like stop working and him get a little frustrated. I thought that was pretty cool. But yeah.
Also, the cinematography, the way the aspect ratio shifts, the kind of like the IMAX scenes, the four by
Hmm.
three, um, are really cool in all the action scenes. Again, when it's at the end and they're fighting Doomsday and it's just like flying through the fucking air and punching
The Doomsday
shit.
reveal, I just feel nothing. Like it just
It,
feels. Terrible. And I like the aspect of Doomsday, but not this early, not in this way. He looks terrible. He looks like a Ninja Turtle. I don't know what he looks like. He looks horrible. But yeah, not a fan.
Superman is a bad guy. Nightmare stuff is cool.
Yeah, it's okay. They put it in the trailers pretty heavy. They wanted to do Dark
There's more of
Side.
it in the Ultimate, I think, and
Yeah, there is. The Parademons looked cool, I'll say that, but yeah, I don't
I
really
don't
care
know.
for that either.
Rest in peace to Jimmy Olsen, though.
Rest in peace. He did get shot in the face like the first time we meet him, and he worked for the CIA apparently
Well, he
instead
is
of
a
just
covert operative.
yeah.